Good evening, YouTube. A short one for a change. All the foods that are available in the game currently. Now, I am going to say currently. My friend Sammy just signed in. This ought to go well. I think she watches my videos, so hey, Sammy. Anyways, we'll get on with this. So we've got pumpkins, watermelons, bananas, peaches, golden fruit. Now, golden fruit apparently is good for 20 seconds of invincibility, and could also be used that if you get it in time, I guess, when you're about to die, it can get you back to your body. So I'm not sure what that's about. Never had to worry about that. So anyway, otherwise it has nothing for value as far as straight out eating it. And I figured she'd say hi. Hey dear, just doing a video. Be right with you. Anyhow, so we've got for if you cook the golden fruit, it gives you buffs, which is more beneficial than just straight out eating it in my books. The broccoli, of course, all these foods have buffs when they're cooked, and you can cook all the foods you want, okay? And in fact, there are foods you must absolutely cook or they'll poison you, and that's raptor meat, wolf meat, and fish. Everything else you can eat raw. Okay, so we also have apples. Good for hunger, a little bit of healing power. Otherwise, that's it. Coconuts, definitely good for the thirst part. Beetroot, well, not really a whole lot of value there. It's more of a food that needs to be cooked, and it even says it's better cooked. Pineapple can do some hunger stuff, definitely really good. Not a lot of greatness on the whole thirst idea, okay? And the same is going to end up going for the jar food here as well as the canned meat. They're going to be more for the hunger side than anything. Carrots are good for stamina, and that's pretty much about all they're good for. Kiwis, on the other hand, they're good for regenerative properties, otherwise not a good hunger and thirst solution whatsoever. Wolf meat, of course, raptor meat, these are good for the whole hunger thing. Yeah, you may or may not get a little bit of liquid out of them, but otherwise, yeah, and they need to be cooked, okay? Then we get into our fish. Now, I have every fish except one, and that's the koi. That is the nightmare fish to try and catch in this game. And yet they said lake trout were extremely rare, and yet I managed to pull 23 out. Okay, so anyway. But we do have killifish and anchovies. We have discus fish, shrimp. Now, these are all things that have to be cooked, and they give you food buffs. In other words, health, hunger, thirst, and stamina above the base levels, which are normally all at 100 until you start using buffs, which you can't do that until you can cook, which is level 17, which we all feel is very unfair. Okay, I mean, we should be able to start cooking and fishing. Well, fishing we can do at any time. As soon as you kill a zombie, you'll get a fishing pole. You can get fish with it. But the only pole you really want in the mainstream is going to be the diamond. But you're going to need to work your way up to that, because it's an extreme rarity to ever get a diamond fishing pole out of a loot chest. So your only other option is off another player or out of the gem store. Okay, I have the diamond pole, and that is literally, that pole will catch anything and everything. It doesn't matter. It's the creme de la creme pole. So it's definitely worthwhile asking for one from somebody, or hopefully you'll get one in a loot chest. In a kill, I don't know. I've gotten iron ones, I've gotten gold ones, I've gotten wooden ones, I've gotten stone ones in kills. There are 5 poles altogether. Anyway, so all your fish here are good for buffs, and different fish have different kind of buff benefits. Some of them will do more than one buff, some of them just do the one, which is generally a health buff. It's going to vary from fish to fish, okay? And the biggest fish to catch in the whole ocean is actually the anglerfish. This thing is a monster, okay? Like, if you give me a second, I'll actually show you how big this puppy really is. It's huge. Like, that's a big fish, man. Works as a great flashlight too, by the way. It's actually a little bit brighter than the flashlight, but of course they do say that, and they say don't leave it on the ground too long or it's going to vanish, which it will. It's like anything in the game. If you leave something on the ground too long, it is gone. And this is where I usually have a large problem with new players, trying to give them one of my care packages, which has some pretty awesome stuff in it. Yes? Okay. Anyways, they tend to delay, and only a couple people have actually not gotten it in time. I've even tried pick it up, drop it, pick it up, drop it. I've done that a number of times. Sometimes that works, gets their attention, because some of them go off into la la land for some reason as soon as you approach them, and it's like, huh? You know what I mean? And it's kind of weird. But so those are all the foods. That's all the foods that there are in the game, other than that koi fish, which is very, very elusive. The anglerfish is hard to catch as it is, and there's only pretty much one place. Even though they are located in more than one, there's one specific place where you're definitely going to get them. And you got to have patience. You are fishing. It is luck of the draw like anything else. There's no skill level to fishing even in real life. There isn't. It's all plain dumb luck. If you catch something with your lure, you're going to catch it. Otherwise, you ain't going to catch it, because it even ain't interested, you ain't going to check it out. Okay? But otherwise, yeah, the majority of the foods are definitely buff-only requirements. But all the foods can be used as buffs. However, this is where I want to bring your attention to a very important factor when it comes to food. The watermelons are the top dog when it comes to hunger and thirst combined in one. I'll press my number 5 button. You can watch my hunger and thirst meters. Okay? They do the best job. Okay? Now, the hunger's top. The thirst isn't quite. It's 92 out of 99. I did some damage to some of my numbers. I was going to be doing a video on the mushrooms, because some of them are drug inducing. And while we had some, problems with the mushrooms causing some damage that I still have to recover from, which is going to take about another 19 hours before I get to rebalance my numbers again. But either way, at least my base health and my base stamina are still up, and my stamina has to go back up a bit more yet for base level above 100. Anyways, that's the watermelons, okay? Best for hunger and thirst out of anything, okay? Bananas for stamina. Every 100 bananas is worth 3,000 stamina points, okay? Then we have the peaches. The peaches are good for 500 health points. Now, plus you still have your base, don't forget, okay? So whatever your base number is, that's added on top. I'm just telling you what the food itself does, okay? So every 20 peaches is 100. Don't ask me what it is for bananas. Do the math backwards. Just divide 3,000 by 100 or 3,000 by 20 or something. Yeah, it'd be by 20. So every 20 bananas. But every 20 peaches is worth 100. So 100 is worth 500. Okay? You get the math there? So these are the 3 main foods that you need to be concerned with. Now, if you do have an abundance of food, gobble the living hell out of a pile of bananas and a pile of peaches. Don't forget, you always got to recover your stores. That's why you grow, 2 banana trees, 1 peach tree, and 2 plots of 4 watermelons. In other words, I'll show you exactly what we're talking about here, okay? This is my growing pattern. I have 4 banana trees here. That's 16 bananas. There's another 4 banana trees. That's another 16. That's 32 bananas. These are grown as singles, just like carrots would be, which is another problem. There's not that many carrots. And by the way, carrots can be used as stamina, but you only get 1,000 stamina points for every 100 carrots, which means you need to eat 300 carrots to be the equivalency to 100 bananas. And there's just more bananas on this island than there are carrots, trust me. Way more. Anyway, so we got a row of 4 here, and we have a row of 4 here of the melons, okay? Then we have 4 trees, which is 16 peaches all together. So you can go pick crazy. You can spend literally like an 8-hour day and just pick and respawn, pick and respawn. Because see, on your own property, you never cut anything down unless you're changing things up. Otherwise, you only pick, because if you cut down a plant or a tree in your own plot. It does not regrow. It does not respawn, okay? The only time these things respawn is when you pick from them. Now, out in the wild, on the other hand, you cut that stuff down. It doesn't matter what tree it is, banana, whatever, okay? You cut it down, it will respawn the entire tree in a few minutes. Same as apple trees. You cut them all down, they respawn. You gotta harvest wood, you gotta harvest the fruit, so you cut them down. It gets faster and it goes through less stamina, which also means your hunger and your thirst aren't as affected as quickly when you're cutting something down and harvesting, as opposed to wasting all that time trying to pick it. And have you ever tried picking a coconut tree? They're really difficult to get 4 coconuts off a tree. Stop wasting your time on that. Just cut the buggers down and don't grow coconut or apple trees. There's way freaking too many of apple trees and coconut trees. Okay? So it would be nice if Random Phantom put a lot more bananas, peaches, and watermelons around. That would be fantastic. Kind of even the score with the friggin' coconut and apple trees a bit. Anyway, so that's what we got for you. Bit of a not so short, but still a short video compared to normal. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. I will catch you later. I gotta go get to Sammy and see what's up with her, and catch you on the next one. Ciao for now.